After intensive artillery barrages, army groups in the southwest and Don fronts start their counter-offensive. November the 20th, Soviet forces of the new Stalingrad United Front strike at the south of the city and recapture the crossing near Kalach. Hitler orders his army to hold Stalingrad and wait for reinforcements. November the 23rd, Soviet troops surround the enemy in the area between the Volga and Don rivers. As future events will show, a catastrophe for the Germans is inevitable.
Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad campaign. And I didn't really do much of part 1, which was the preparation for the counterattack, because there's a lot of kind of simple missions in it, and you just kind of start off learning the sim and things like that, and there's mandatory tutorials that you have to go through. So this is really where the action starts, and this is the Battle of Stalingrad. Here was the 6th Army, and here's the 4th Panzer Army. So you had a number of German tanks as well as infantrymen that were the main front of the Germans. And in the operation, down here is Stalingrad. So here's a city. You know, it's in ruins. It's been bombarded. There's street-to-street fighting. I think the Russians lost something like 1.5 million soldiers, and the Germans lost like 750,000, something crazy like that. Hitler really wanted Stalingrad. The reason for that, one, it bared the name of Stalin, which would be an embarrassment to Russia or to the Soviet Union. And number two, once he took Stalingrad, he wanted to use these railways and roads to travel south, and they had some very rich oil fields down to the south, and he wanted to use that to supply fuel for his army. So it was a very strategic position. It was also meant to be an embarrassment. So you can see here Operation Uranus, which is the point in the campaign where we are right now. These are the Russian troops advancing. You can see on the south side as well as on the north side. The Germans were using the Romanians to kind of cover their flanks, and the Russians strategically planned their attack. As the winter hit, the supply lines ran thin for the Germans, and the Romanian army was ill-equipped to fight. They had like some French artillery shells. They had like 6 shells per cannon or something like that, and they weren't doing too great. So in the northern side, the Russians opened up all their artillery and kind of softened that area. They had like 3,500 guns, and they opened up, and that allowed the Russian infantry and tanks to move through here, and they were able to break the lines of the Romanians here as well. And the armies actually linked up in the middle. They effectively surrounded the 6th German Army and the 4th Panzer. From that point on, it became a battle of attrition. So the German army was surrounded. They didn't have supplies coming in, and they basically were able to annihilate this entire group. So it's a pretty awesome operation that took place. Stalingrad was strategic because it was on the way to Moscow. It would open up the doorway, and this city needed to be held. That's why it was so important. And it also blocked the Germans from getting those oil fields. It blocked them from advancing further east, and this is where the line stopped. I don't believe that the German army advanced past this, and from this point on, they were forced back into Germany. So very important battle. If you remember movies like Enemy at the Gates, it shows the importance of this and everything. All right, so let's get into it. And again, since I'm emulating Lydia Litvyak, this is very similar to the paint scheme that she actually used. It was kind of a white camouflage with the green on it, and so I'm going to pick this aircraft. And we'll be doing a bomber intercept mission down here to the southeast. Probably take on some HE-111s, I imagine. Alright, so here we are on the aircraft, and I apologize for the volume in the last video. I know that it was pretty loud. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I just hadn't adjusted the in-game volume. Alright, so let me get the canopy open. And what I'll do is bring the stick all the way back, make sure that my radiator's full open, and take off here. I like to give it full left rudder as we start. Touching the nose down just a little bit. And I'll wait till about 200. And we'll take off here. Get the gear up. And we'll come back in on target. So just a note about navigation. Yeah, you know, I use the icons for navigating. Just simulating that pilot area knowledge of where they were going. And, you know, it just simply takes too long to try to learn this terrain and figure out what landmarks and where you're going. I mean, some guys do that. I guess that's really cool if you can. But me personally, you know, I just want to get there and get into the action and come back. Some of these fights can take, you know, an hour, just even with navigational help. So that's why I use that. It's also very hard to find targets in the snow. Like, you will not see hardly anything. So unless you want to be flying around all over Stalingrad, getting lost and never finding your targets, I suggest you at least use them sporadically. That's what I do. I turn them on and off as I need them. And you do fly at all times of the day here. You can see that it's about 9:35 in the morning, so sun is still pretty low right now. And you can when you look outside, you can see what I was talking about with the snow just completely blinding you. You can barely make out anything down there. So how are you going to navigate? I guess, you know, you can certainly do it with your compass and with time distance type of thing, which will work if you want to plan that out. And I'm going to level off here at about 3,500 feet. Our target is still 45 miles away. One thing that I really like using is the auto leveler, and you can find it in the controls. And basically, all it does is it keeps your wings level and your altitude. It's kind of like an autopilot. That way, if you're en route to target and you need to get up and, you know, get a drink, use the bathroom, you don't have to sit here the whole time, or, you know, and you can still fly towards the target. So it's kind of nice. You know, I narrate a lot, so, you know, it's hard for me to fly sometimes and talk. So it's kind of nice just to give you a break, hands off, and let the aircraft fly straight and level. Back there you can see a fire burning on the ground. It's pretty awesome. And just below me down there where the fires are, that's Stalingrad, right over the river there. It's a pretty big city. And they have, according to the trailer, they have some really amazing detail down low level, where you can see individual buildings and great amount of detail. Performance is awesome for the amount of objects that are here. Alright, so we just got to our patrol sector here. Stalingrad burning down there. And your oxygen does come on after, I think, about 3,000 meters, which is roughly 1,000 feet. 10,000 feet. And you hear the pilot breathing. It's not annoying, like in a lot of, like I remember in FSX, they have a lot of annoying breathing. It's pretty minimal, and it's nice touch. All right, my wingman actually broke off and found the bombers down there. So I was wondering why they left the flight, and then I wonder if these guys have an escort. And I looked down there, and there's the bombers. It's kind of cool because you think about it, and you hear all these World War II stories of wingmen seeing something and just breaking off their flight lead, because their flight lead either didn't see what they saw or wasn't paying attention, and they just took initiative and went for it. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's check for any enemy fighters. I'm kind of paranoid right now. Oh, you're going way fast, 700. And you can definitely feel the controls getting mushy. My idle power here. Alright, doing okay. Oh, great. Alright, I got some oil leakage here. Engine's damaged. I got a good hit on that guy. Might be time to go home for me. And here's it. Here's the guy that I hit. He actually took some engine damage there, but looks like he's still rolling. So we'll see what happens to him. Just beautiful textures in here. It's pretty awesome looking. Like when you see aircraft in this simulator, it looks like the trailer. You know how the trailer kind of will show you things and you're like, alright, it doesn't look like that. This actually looks like the trailer when you're looking at the aircraft. It's crazy. Okay, it looks like my engine shut down, but I did shoot this guy down, so that's good. Alright, I'm gonna have to find a landing spot here. And this did actually happen to Lydia. She actually got, I think she actually got shut down by BF-109. But, let's see if the gear comes down. Oh, it does. And she had to land it. You can see some of the damage modeling here. Left wing is gone there. Alright. Well, I'm definitely in a Russian line, so I'm perfectly good. Should be okay to make it back. There's a town nearby, so hope you guys enjoy that. Lydia did get shot down twice. She actually got shot once and almost bled to death, and she actually made it back to her home airfield. And the other time she had to do a belly landing, and I don't know if that was on or off base, but she did make it back. So these aircraft were sturdy. They could take some damage. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that second video. I'll see you guys